Awesome. As the rest of you kind of, I guess, get ready for the night and go to tuck in and such like that, all seems well and such in the world. At about midnight, Atlas, you will hear. It's very faint. It's the sound. Actually, give me a perception roll. Sorry, give me a perception.
Yep.
In regards to the actual roll, okay. You will hear the sound, regardless of that, of these. I guess like bestial sounds. It's kind of like if you've ever heard like a cat in a fight, the kind of wow wow kind of sound. You can hear that off in the distance. It's with a roll like that, it's kind of hard to judge how far away it is. It's definitely to the northwest, roughly where you've been kind of directed. I will say it seems perhaps a little bit closer than you expected, just from the volume and such of it. But it's hard to determine, if this is just if it's 2 days out, if it's a day and a half, if it's a day or whatever it might be. But beyond that, that's you kind of pick up on that, and you're like, oh, that's kind of odd. You hear a couple of birds take off in the distance as there's kind of rowing and stuff happens. And,
is it loud enough to be able to wake someone who's quite deep in sleep?
I wouldn't say deep in sleep. This is again, like, it's quite far out, like definitely a couple of miles and such like that. But it's more of a and then the birds and stuff kind of take off into the distance.
I'd be asleep then.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's cool. I'll keep vigil for my watch. And if anyone's coming out for the next watch, I'll let them know that there were bestial cat noises coming from the northeast.
Northwest. Again,
Northwest.
Same kind of direction you guys have been travelling mostly, but just quite deep in the thick of it, off in the distance kind of thing.
They didn't sound close, but they are there, so keep an eye out. Yeah.
The rest of the night goes pretty quietly, to be honest. Like, you heard that big kind of clash, and every now and then, you hear a little bit of stuff happening off in the distance, but there's nothing too major. And beyond that, basically, you just wake up and the rest of you all kind of, I don't know if you've got anything, morning rituals or anything, but you all kind of wake up in the morning and get I would imagine get ready to go, unless anything you guys want to cover.
Sweet.
Yep, ready to go.
There you go.
So, AGM will be off having a leak.
I do just need to do a little thing as the sun comes up. I'm going to do cross-legged facing the sun, and under my breath I am going to say Magnus Armus, Magnus Armus, Magnus Armus, and a blue sort of little force field sort of goes around me and sinks into my skin, and I'm good.
Oh, cool! I just got the ice whale picture, bro. Fucking
awesome.
me.
Okay, and with that, you guys kind of take off into the forest. I imagine to the northwest. Kind of up to you guys to decide. As a general marching order, might not matter for the time being, but you guys have any rough idea of who's going first, who's going at the back and such?
I would definitely be at the back, I believe.
Yeah, I'd be next to the old man.
I can hang back if Gabriel wants to take point.
Yeah, I guess, because I'll be looking for signs of the
So it is.
beast.
Awesome.
Sweet. As we're walking, DM, is there much kind of like bird life, animal life?
Yeah. It seems like the further you push into the forest, the more life there is around. As you kind of walk through, it's very early in the morning. It's probably 7 a.m. You guys had a decent sleep. As you guys walk through, there's kind of light passing through the trees. But the further that you guys get in over the next couple of hours, the more dense all the the canopy gets. So it's just getting more and more. There's still plenty of light trickling through, but it seems like there's just plenty of life in this forest. There's tons of birds and all sorts of small rabbits and such jumping around, and this is a very lively forest. I don't know what more to say. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a reason why this is a hunting ground. Yeah.
What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to try and basically I'm going to have like a handful of like seed in my hand, and I'm just going to be whistling to the birds and stuff like that, and trying to basically encourage them to
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Trying to encourage them to come and like eat the seed, and if they don't come too close, then I'll just sprinkle the seed.
Give us an animal handling. Let's see what happens. 16, that's pretty cool. You're sitting there with a seed in your hand, this little sparrow, it's kind of jotting around on the trees of the branches, all kind of following you for a while. And after about probably 15 minutes, it kind of draws up enough courage to come and land right on your arm and start eating out of your hand. You've got the sparrow kind of sitting there, and there's plenty of other ones just sitting in the trees kind of watching what's happened.
Awesome.
As well.
Bloody lovely creatures. Lovely creatures. Almost look identical to the little creatures back home. Lovely little sparrows. Do they call them sparrows over here? What?
I don't think I've ever heard of a sparrow.
Oh. Wow, fascinating creatures. And Gabriel.
We had these birds in our village called pukikos.
Pukikos.
Yeah. They're like
Pukikos.
little blue things.
Oh.
Red feet.
I can't wait I can't wait to get to your village and have a look at them. I'll
Yeah, you
need
just
to
see
do a
them
drawing
walking
as
around,
well.
pecking at the ground all the time. They're really weird.
Okay, fantastic. Gabriel, what do you think? Should we did we want to try and trap like a small rabbit or hare to or should we like stalk a deer? I'm just thinking of bait, or do you think we should wait till later on?
We should probably wait. We don't want to be carrying around
Very
food. These things.
Can I just do a rear guard check, just to make sure nothing's creeping up on us?
Yeah, you can roll perception if you want. For the most of the day, so you guys are just continuing traveling northwest. When you do want to go hunting, I guess like what's the plan here for you guys? Are you like waiting till midday-ish and gonna?
I think I'm assuming we're looking for tracks of hunters or looking for any disturbances. I'm assuming.
Okay.
Getting away from our scent, like the scent of the bonfire and food and stuff.
Yeah, I'll say roughly about midday at this stage. You guys have been traveling for a while. You kind of pick up on what would kind of be, you imagine like a regular trail that people follow. Like it's not carved out or anything like that, but just from the number of people that have been walking, it's kind of a bit of a beaten path. There's kind of cuts a path through the undergrowth and keeps on heading that direction. It splits off a little bit, but the main track, which you've kind of kept to, keeps on heading to that northwest. And kind of just goes further and further into this forest, and it gets more and more dense until you finally come across a bit of a clearing. There's still trees and such around, but it's a bit more kind of open space. I will get you to make me... I'll get you to make me a survival check. I'll get one of you to roll me a survival check. You guys can choose who it is.
I'll give it a go.
Really? Not the
You don't.
Apparently not.
He can give it a go. I don't care.
Oh, he's got the same modifier. So.
Nice.
I didn't know.
I have survived to old age.
As you guys are walking through this clearing, and you're still got your hand out on these birds and such, you've been throwing out seed and such as you go. Everyone else is kind of, looking off into the trees and everything like that. You're just walking nice and slowly, basically looking at this thing in your hand, and you notice little specks of blood on the ground, and a couple of again, this is a little bit more of a clearing, so it's like regular kind of like things of grass, and there's the main track that kind of cuts through, but it almost looks like something's been dragged off in one direction. I'd say to the north, as opposed to the track which you're going. Something of reasonable size, and the kind of grass is matted down, I guess, to kind of symbolize that a bit.
Guys, can you see this? I've spotted some blood. I'm going to kind of cast Mage Hand, just to basically like kind of brush like things out of the way, kind of revealing the path that's been dragged in a little bit. Look up here, something's been dragged. Can you smell anything, Gabriel?
I'll go and take a look and kind of dip my fingers in it, in the blood, and
Get a little
Get a
taste.
taste and a sniff. Yeah, sure, why not?
Kind of. It. I don't know if you can tell what something is by the blood. It's fairly fresh, I would say. Like it's still warm. It's not completely settled into the dirt and such. And there's a couple of like little droplets in there across the grass, following again obviously this kind of matted down grass, which has now been parted by mage hands to kind of symbolise that way. I'd say probably with your kind of background as like a hunter, and that you can probably guess that this is only a couple of hours ago, if that.
Oh yeah. Seems something has been wounded recently.
Do we
Not too
think
long
this,
ago, perhaps.
Do we think this could be one of the beasts?
Could be anything. You can't tell with blood.
Your call, Gabriel. What do you think we should do? Should we follow it, or should we continue on?
Yeah, we could follow it. I don't know, the best clue we've had all day, so
It's the only clue we've had all day.
he kind of
Okay.
backs it swift.
Aegean moves a little bit closer to Swift and kind of taps her on the shoulder and will make sure you stand close to me, Swift. I might need protecting.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Of course you do.
If anything comes near you, and then like for a second her eyes will flash from green to yellow, they'll regret it.
Oh.
Okay then.
So you guys are following this path. Are you sticking to the main track, or are you
Following the path.
following the path? Awesome.
Did-
I'd like to do it a little bit quietly, stealthily.
You guys want to do stealth rolls? Cool. Yeah. Do a group stealth roll. So each of you roll stealth.
I got the old -1, boys.
Nice. And he got that 0 and that 1 as well. But I will
There
say,
I am trundling through the fucking bush with my
on
robe
all
and my
the-
like walking stick.
that's fucking hilarious. Cool. Okay. I will say that Aegon unboringly is sitting there and he's still just talking along to these birds and throwing out seeds while everyone else is trying to be stealthy. And Atlas walks up behind him and he's like, "Dude, there's blood. Just chill," kind of thing like that. Well, I don't know how he'd talk that out, but you know, I guess
Throw the bird in the air and be like, "Off me wrist," and
kind of flies off into the distance as as it kind of chills out a bit, and he gives you the assistance you need. 15 go. What the fuck? I am 15-foot cone. Yeah, cool and awesome. So you're able with the likes of the nat 20 to kind of balance out that nat 1. You're able to move fairly quietly for these things, and you probably follow it for about half an hour, and you come across 2 individuals, and we might just put you across to another map for this. As you kind of pull forwards, getting closer and closer to this point, probably need to move about a little bit further, probably about this point. We'll say they haven't really seemed to notice you yet, but around the carcass of a deer or a stag is this massive, what looks to be like a Goliath, like a man wearing leathers and all that kind of stuff, with a couple of markings across his face, and there's a young, what looks like a young child, not a young child, like a teenage boy next to him. Seems to be of like human descent. Is that someone laughing again?
what am I doing?
I know exactly what that's referencing. I just figured it out. That's awesome. Good job.
Sorry, guys. I'm
Do
distracted.
you? So find out.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if I think of what it is, that's alright.
I'm going to be really impressed if you know. That's awesome.
Wait, so what have we seen again?
So there's like a dead stag on the ground with like arrow wounds in it, and around them there's like this massive like Goliath-looking dude, all covered in levers and tattoos and all that kind of such. And there's a young boy there who's got his knife out and he's kind of cutting into it, skinning, doing a bit of skinning and such, as well. They haven't seen you guys yet, so you're welcome to continue approaching stealthily or waving or do whatever you might want to do.
My token is slightly bigger than the squares. There we go.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is strange. Does that sound weird?
Hmm?
I thought it might be the same for everyone for a second. Yeah, you're right.
It was just me.
I think so.
I'll
Can I from here? Can I see approximately like? Is this guy older or younger than I am?
The boy.
Yeah. Like, is he boyfriend material?
I think he's roughly. Oh god. I think he's roughly about your age. He's definitely a teenager. I think he's about 17 from memory. Yeah, and they're kind of late teens, I would say. Make do with that what you will. I don't know what you're attracted to.
I'm gonna call out and say, I would say, greetings, fellow hunters.
Both of them look up at you, almost like shocked to see you. Not in like a whoa, bring out weapons kind of thing, but they kind of sit up for a second and then look over your way. The Goliath stands right up, and you see how tall this guy is. Fucking huge. On his belt is this the head of like this massive what you say, like a pig's head on his belt. It's kind of just attached to that like a trophy, and the teenager kind of waves and he goes, hey, who are you? I don't recognize you.
I am Gabriel, resident of Rook. I have a party with me to hunt some beasts, some creatures that are terrorizing the local town. Can we approach?
It kind of looks a little bit dubious, only because of all the umming and ahhing you can probably suspect. He's kind of like, sure, you said you had a party.
You see Aegean come up behind him.
Start walking forward. He sees an old man and kind of that relaxes him a little bit, to be honest, feeling obviously a bit more comfortable.
Hello there, my friends. Hello.
Oh.
Nothing to fear. No worries.
And he kind of stands up as well. And you see, kind of as you close in a little bit, that they actually have these big gashes. Oh, sorry, the larger gentleman has this massive kind of gash across his chest, and there's obviously like bruises and scratches and such all over this younger gentleman. Don't look like something you'd probably get from fighting a stag, but who knows? He kind of, all right, well, come join us. And kind of beckons you over as he's got his knife out and he's fully skinning the animal.
I'm gonna take advantage of my nat 20 stealth roll and go here.
Yeah. You are cloaked in shadows. Everybody else has kind of got their attention at the moment, and they're kind of just
if I can wait as well.
Yep.
I would just like to mutter under my breath, vocate ferrum eladuntium, and my weapon is going to materialize out of my left hand like a lightsaber, and I'm just going to chill in the bushes.
What type of weapon is it, just out of curiosity?
It is a rapier.
A rapier?
Gold filigree on the handle, nicely created, with almost like an Arctic blue sort of
radiating
Luke Skywalker. Yeah, Luke Skywalker sort of lightsaber sort of look.
That's baller. Awesome. Sorry, Tyler?
They're gonna see me, Aegean, looking around, all confused. And... Hold on a second. Atlas! Did you guys see where Atlas went?
Swift doesn't reply as she's like walking towards the young man.
It looks like
He might have gone to relieve himself, I suppose. We have one other party member, but he is just disappeared. That is quite odd and peculiar.
the the Goliath himself just kind of stands quietly and kind of stares you guys down. He's got this furrowed brow and he doesn't look angry, but he's definitely kind of on edge, as always. The young ones. So you've come from the village, you said, and you're still skinning this animal.
Riverhead. We came from Riverhead. We got a contract for hunting some what they call night beasts.
Oh, so you've spoken to Van.
Yes, Van was his name. Yes,
you've spoken to Van. That's good. He's hired. You guys actually look capable. He's finally got around to hiring people who know what they're doing. That's good to hear.
At this
when
point,
he says capable, I'm gonna look at myself and then look at the old man. I'm like, yeah, we're real capable.
He's fully just looking at the tabaxi at the moment, and he looks over. He's like, oh yeah, I'm sure you're very capable.
You're gonna see Aegean's completely not paying attention to any part of the conversation, and he's down with the boy and watching, and he's basically asking the boy how he's like skinning in the best portions of meat to cut and things like that. So, as he's writing in his book.
Well, we all learn this from a young age, and he's actually got to stop skinning for a moment. It's good. It's good that Van's hired someone. These things they're ferocious. They've been in the forest for years, and we've never had this problem. But we were attacked by one last night. Actually, well, not one, multiple. There's a whole group of them, and that's not something we'd ever seen before. Fortunately, Taur was able to hold them off and kind of, I don't know, buy us enough time that we could get away without any real injury, but we've kind of been wandering for the last couple of days. And
which one of them's talking right now?
The younger gentleman.
And Taur is the big one?
Taur, yeah. Oh, my name's Ish, by the way.
Taur and Ish.
Yeah, we're not used to them being many. Like, we've been hunting in these forests for years, and it's never been a problem. I don't know what's got into them. There's something happening. Something's stewing.
Hey, there's a group of them.
Yes,
that's very unusual. Usually is. Are they not?
Yeah. You know night beasts. You know of night beasts.
I've only heard night beast called when we took the job. They sound like displacer beasts.
Yes, I've heard of those before. They're like big night beasts, right?
Sure.
It's like, okay. Well, yeah, I think they're the same. They, like you said, they hunt in pairs usually, but there was three of them.
Just so I'm understanding, like, there's a lot of, like, obviously there's lots of beasts out there. So are we talking about beasts that run? Are we talking about beasts that walk? Are we talking about beasts that predominantly bite or scratch? I'm noticing by your wounds there, they look pretty, they look like they have all of the above.
The larger gentleman just kind of shrugs at you a little bit with a fucking massive gash across his chest. In most things that walk do run. That's kind of a given. But no, they're like great cats, I guess, with multiple tails. If you haven't seen one, then it's kind of hard to describe. They're not the usual thing, but they're dangerous, and they've always been dangerous. Like, you never want to get one cornered by itself. That's always a no-go. We learn that from day one before we go out by ourselves.
Don't corner them.
I mean, it's the same with any beast. If you get them stuck in a corner by themselves, they're going to lash out. That's when they're most dangerous. But yeah, usually they hunt in pairs, and they're effective hunting in pairs. That's what they do. But now there's packs of them. It doesn't seem right.
Could you take us to where? Do you know where do they live in burrows? Do they
I don't know.
Do they have a home? Do they live in a cave? Do you know anything along those you know what kind of?
It's hard to like. We don't normally push too far into their hunting grounds. They're normally further northwest of where we usually go. Caves, I could see that happening. We find them in trees somewhere.
Trees.
Watching from above.
Trees watching.
They.
From above.
The only thing I can really offer you is, I mean, we could take you closer, but I do need to get some aid for my friend here. Kind of mentions back to his mate. We're just stopping for something to eat before we head back to town. You need to be careful at night. They are really hard to see at night. Don't go hunting at night.
No hunting at night.
Of course, if you want to find them, then you might need to go hunting at night. I don't know where they go during the day. We've never hunted them before. We've never needed to.
Sounds like really good advice.
Our
Don't
friend
hunt
gave-
them at night, except when you hunt them at night, because it's the only time.
Oh, we don't hunt them, okay?
Gabe,
They're dangerous at night, that's all I'm telling you. They're hard to spot. We don't normally track them down. There's normally only a couple of them. You'll see them in trees, and they just kind of leave you to do what you do. But I don't know, man. Something's got into them.
so what you're saying, just based off what you've... If they hunt in twos, but now they hunt
Yes.
in packs, they must have a social hierarchy. So that means there's some form of intelligence. My thinking, Gabriel and Atlas were... wait, hold on a second. Atlas! I'm getting a bit worried about our friend, but we did have the idea of setting a bait. Or maybe even a trap. Is that something that's going to fool them? Like, if they are...
Yeah, like if we put me out in the middle of the road, will they come and eat me?
Probably.
I mean, they weren't actually, because I'll fight them.
Okay, that's good to know. I
then
wouldn't want to
Adrian
see you
looks
in
at-
danger, but...
She
Adrian-
says, clearly holding no weapons.
Adrian looks at Tor and looks at all the gashes,
Yeah.
and then looks back at Swift and...
Yeah, this man is a fucking tank, by the way. He is like, I should probably make him large, to be honest. He's like this fucking big. And he's slashed up. It doesn't look mortal by any stretch. Sorry, what was your question? Bait, yes. I mean, they're carnivorous. Yeah, it'd have to be something. I wouldn't. If you're gonna bait them, like a person could work. I don't think that would be smart, but that's
or
up to you
maybe
guys.
the hindquarters of a giant stag, and then Adrian just kind of does a look over at the stag that they've been cut up.
It's like I'm sure we can spare it. We don't need the whole thing. You asked if they're smart. I don't know about hierarchies. Again, if they hunt in pairs, I'd assume that they're just mates. But if there's a pack, then who knows?
I don't think running off instinct necessarily makes you smart.
Yeah, they're not dumb.
Writing in books,
Whether or not
that makes you smart.
they're both gonna look at each other, both Taur, they're gonna be like, yeah, sure. You're welcome to half of this anyway. He'll just finish skinning it, kind of rip all the skin off, and it's basically just this giant meat carcass now. They'll make sure they.
Adrian,
How about in payment for your catch, we look after your friend here? Has anyone got any medicine or bandages?
good joke.
I do.
This is when we find out that there is no healers on the team. Yeah.
I don't even think I've got anything in my inventory either.
Nope.
Oh shit! I literally have nothing.
You might want to fix that. You can add starting equipment.
Yeah. I'm assuming I'll have some sort of like bandages or something like that.
You can roll me a medicine check if you like. If you want to try and create like a poultice or something like that you could put on it, you're welcome to roll a medicine check. If anybody else is proficient, I'm going to give it a DC of 15. Okay, never mind. I was about to say, if anybody else is proficient in medicine, you can add that bonus to his result.
No.
Cool. 15 passes anyway. So
Healing's for herbs.
you're able to grab, I guess, probably have like a little bit of fabric in your bags and such like that. You're able to kind of get that out and across all the different kind of herbs and plants and such, and make this kind of makeshift poultice that you're able to slap on. It's like, oh, like obviously it stings a bit when he first puts it on, and start bandaging up. And Ish is kind of just comforting. He's like, the guy seems to know what he's doing.
I mean, he's been around for a really long time. He's quite clever, this old man.
Sorry, guys. I'm just adding a couple of bits
That's
of
right.
starting equipment and stuff. So yeah, that looks right. Okie dokie.
You're right. It's not often that people live this old out in the fall. So he kind of looks over Egan.
So don't give me too much credit. I was behind safe walls and had a healthy home for many, many years. So
Oh, you're
let's
one of
just
those
say that
Arcades
I'm
sort, eh?
privileged.
And he's just got to shake
well,
his head a little
maybe
bit.
a little less arrogant than those Arcades lot. So I hate to suggest that I make the plan, but what do we say? Shall we continue to head north and place this bait? What would you say? In saying that, it's been quite a long time, and I can't see or hear of Atlas anywhere. So I think we might need to track him down. I'm getting quite worried.
Just
Can I
briefly,
try and find out where he is?
Fire Atlas. You're welcome to. It's up to Ben if you want to be able to track him down. Otherwise, we can do contested rolls, blah blah blah. As this is happening, Ish kind of just cuts off like a flank of this beast and kind of rolls it up a bit, takes out like some twine and wraps it up so it's something that's carryable, and kind of slings it over his shoulder so he's got a chunk of meat there. And he's like, the stag's all yours.
Sweet. Thank you very much,
I'm
good sirs.
Just gonna say into Tyler's mind, I'm absolutely fine. Don't worry about me.
Ooh.
Have you ever been communicated with telepathically before, Tyler?
Oh
It's
yeah,
up
I
to you.
definitely
Okay.
would have. Yeah, no, I
Given-
definitely would have been. Because if I was like the assistant to like kind of the head scribe of a kingdom, that sort of stuff will have been
Fairly common.
kind
Okay,
of
sweet.
common,
Yeah.
a lot more commonplace. So
Yeah, so
I was,
like,
gonna go one of two ways.
yeah. So it's like a familiar sensation of someone kind of
yeah,
a little bit weird. It's like hands kind of gripping on your brain. Like,
yeah,
"Oh."
I'd definitely be in
Oh,
shock
okay.
because I didn't realize he could do
Yeah.
that. So. Oh, never mind. He's going to catch up with us in a minute.
Awesome. Okay, well we will
Alright.
bid you on your way. We were, I suppose it's worth noting, if you're going to set a trap, it's about. We were attacked probably a couple of hours north of here. Is when we ran into them, or where we ran into them. That might be a good place to set a trap. Otherwise,
You said you ran into one of them? One of them attacked
a
you?
pack of them. One of them.
Oh, the whole pack came after you.
There was a whole pack of them. One of them attacked us. The others were kind of encircling around. And when one of them got into Taur here, he picks up his hammer and it's this massive fucking sledge. He made sure that it didn't want to come back after him, and then we ran. But I wouldn't. Yeah, you need to be cautious. There's definitely more than one. I can't stress that enough.
If you guys don't mind, just before we go, Adrian comes over to Ish and I love to record everyone's a little bit about everyone I meet. I kind of pass them my book. Mind just writing me what city you're from and kind of any close family members?
He is gonna go bright fucking red. And he's like,
Don't feel like you have to.
I can't.
I just like to.
I can't.
You can't what?
I can't write.
Oh, I'm sorry to embarrass you. How about what is the
Me and-
greatest thing that your family's house has ever done? And then I just kind of quickly scribble down some notes.
my family's long gone, but me and my friend Taur here, we run the smithy in town at Riverhead. So
Smithy in town.
once you guys are done here, I guess, provided you make it out okay, I really hope you do, then come visit us. We'll be sure to repay this kindness, I guess.
No problem. And as I meet people on my way, and if they need anything, I shall send them your way. Straw and fish smithies.
Tor runs the forge. I'm mostly just the hand, but we get by. We thought that we could maybe help with these beasts, but it might be a little bit beyond us, to be honest.
Oh well, nice to
That's
meet
okay. You guys can leave it to me.
Okay. Give you like a half smile.
So,
Be careful, please.
Yeah, it
Keep
was
yourself
to meet
well.
you, and you to be careful as well.
Thank you. They'll kind of... Again, he's got his meat and such, and they'll kind of just give you like a nice little wave and start heading off in the way which you guys have come. Just make sure I don't
what
magically
delightful
take the
people
beer
in
with
this country.
the deal with me. Boop, boop, boop.
Okie dokie.
Alright, they're gone, Atlas. You can stop being shy now.
I walk out with my giant lightsaber. That's right.
Oh,
One always has to be prepared.
If Nate walks out, I'm just gonna be like, ah! Where'd you go?
Apologies. I was inspecting a very lovely tree.
let us know next time you wander off, just so I know not to worry.
In your mind, you'll hear, "Don't worry."
It's creepy as fuck. Awesome. Okay, what's the plan? What are we doing?
Just before we go, I'm just going to pop my head into this little kind of stone area and just have a look around and just check out, see if, because I'm assuming this is like a ruins, right? It's like some...
I wouldn't say it's a ruins of a building, like it's a destroyed
Ruins of
building,
a
but
building.
it's not like a ancient ruins or anything like that.
Nah,
It's
so I'm
literally
just going to pop my head in just to see if there's anything interesting, draw a quick little like sketch of the building and stuff, but there's nothing that's going to catch my attention in terms of like there's nothing unique about the place that would stand out, is there?
The only thing that's kind of weird about it, I wouldn't say it's anything like drastically crazy. The only thing that's weird about it is it's stone buildings and like everywhere which you've seen in like around Riverhead and around these little kind of outskirt villages, they've pretty much all been wood houses. It doesn't really,
Okay, well, I'll definitely take a note of
yeah, you can take a note of it. It's beyond that, like it's mostly just stone. It's like almost completely collapsed building. There's like some very old furniture there, like some chairs and tables and that kind of stuff. But beyond that, there's not really too much that catches the eye.
All good then.
Yeah.
Then I'm happy to go.
I guess I'll pick up this deer ass.
Just fucking. It's just mad mode this whole fucking stag. What's your strength, out of curiosity?
Not that much.
Is it a 10 or is it lower than 10?
It's higher than 10.
Okay, yeah, you're probably alright. It's probably alright. You're not trying to sprint with it or anything, so.
Who's got the haunch of meat that they gave us before?
No, they took a haunch of meat with themselves.
Oh, they took it. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they've left the entirety of the stag remaining for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would you like me to carve that up for you? Maybe?
If we carve it up, then we're basically we're giving, two baits. I mean, as soon as you carve stuff and the blood falls on the ground, then we've automatically just laid a second bait. So if we carve it up where we're going, I feel like we'll have a better chance of
Good idea.
attracting something. We want all the blood and all everything. And even if I'm covered in blood, that still counts.
Oh, you sound like you're a master at this.
Far from it. I know how to get food, take food back to the village, and cook the food. I'm used to this. We had to travel days to find meat for our village, and that was the village task. We found the kill, and then we had to all as one take the large creature in pieces back to the village and lay it out in the grounds for it to freeze before it was transported
Right,
back
so
to
you're
the
more
country.
like a master butcher, not a master baiter.
I would think that I'm a master carrier rather than a masturbator.
Yeah,
Well, this is my first hunt that I've ever been on. I'm actually quite excited. I don't usually like killing animals, but hey, this is all part of the circle of life.
yeah, kill them? Is that
I
what
mean,
they
if
told
you
us
want
to
to
do?
take the whole thing, you can. Just seems less efficient.
You'll see when he puts this
Leave
on.
just-
Sorry, you'll see as Atlas picks this up. Like, it's obviously heavy, and it's not something you could run with, or if you were to run with it, you'd really be straining yourself. But he's actually carrying it, like, fairly well enough, to be honest. I'd say, because what you said you got above 10 strength, right? You didn't- Oh no, my disc got frozen. No.
Xandit's probably.
Motherfucker. What do you guys hear up to? Sorry.
No, we
Hey,
heard all. We heard everything.
We heard all.
Oh, okay, go.
My Discord's freezing.
Yes. Yeah, so you can see him lift it. It's like obviously a little bit of strain, but he seems to be carrying it fine enough. You can make do with that as you will.
Yeah, I'm not sprinting. I'll trudge. The slow and wary, determined walk of a man who has nothing to lose.
Alright, well then.
As we kind of head on from this particular part, I'm going to be, although I've still got my book out, kind of, recording little plants and different kind of shrubs and bushes here or there, doing little pictures as we walk along. But I am going to be kind of being a lot more cautious and a lot more aware of kind of that sixth sense feeling, Not so much looking out for anything specific in terms of nature, but just any term of like that, the electricity in the air, that kind of sixth sense thing, being aware that something might pop up. So I don't know how to describe that, but it's being a lot more cautious of kind of reading the elements, reading the air, reading everything that's kind of going by, waiting for...
You're just saying you're on edge, basically.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah.
Huge, long-winded way of saying that.
You're using your instincts.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm assuming you guys kind of continue roughly to the location which they were advising you a couple of hours to the north?
Yep.
Awesome. To get closer and closer, what did I say? It was like 1 o'clock-ish when we ran into these guys. Oh, okay, so it's probably getting on to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not too bad at the moment. And 5 by you kind of... Oh, you are carrying that... It should give me an athletics spin. Sorry, I just... How long is this going to take? Because you're probably moving at about half. No, 2/3 your normal speed unless you roll.
9.
I'd probably say this takes a couple more hours. So you're probably looking...
If I see him struggling with it, I'd probably just go and grab it off him.
Just go
Like,
grab
I'll
it.
carry it and just pick it up. Just run along.
Alright, give me an athletics, let's see it. I'll say you can definitely pick it up, but in terms of like maintain that good speed you got going.
I'm so strong. Where's athletics?
Oh, that's 20!
Hey!
Just,
Hell
don't
yeah.
worry.
That's all you.
Atlas, you just feel like you're like, you're trying to keep pace with everyone else because everyone else is slightly taking off into the distance, and you're like, fuck, trying to catch up after you've made this whole thing of like, I can carry this, no problem. And then you just feel the entire weight just lifted off your shoulders, and you're like, oh, what the heck? You turn around, you just see Swift go sprinting off.
I feel like Swift picked me and the deer up and then runs with both of us.
Absolutely emasculated.
Adrian's like sitting there having a good old chuckle at the back of the column, just writing in his book.
I mean, realistically, I'm pushing 45, so I mean, if the young 17-year-old wants to take it off the old people's shoulders, you go crazy.